Good morning, all of you. We'll go with the boundary and initial conditions in this particular lecture. So, all of you are aware about the steady state and unsteady state heat conduction. Can anybody tell me what is steady state heat conduction? What is steady state and unsteady state? Hello. What is steady state and unsteady state? Temperature is constant with respect to time in steady state, correct? And temperature is not constant with respect to time under unsteady state heat conduction. So unsteady state heat conduction is also called as a transient heat conduction. Okay. So as far as the these problems of steady state and unsteady state heat conductions are concerned, we required some boundary and initial conditions to solve such type of problems. Okay, so we'll go for this boundary and initial conditions in detail in today's lecture. So what is boundary condition? As name suggests, what is boundary? Can you tell me what is boundary of any object? Hello, what is boundary of any object? Hello, what is boundary? Extreme points. Okay, so for plane wall, suppose you are having the one dimensional heat conduction in a plane wall in x direction. So let's say total length in x direction is the capital L. So you will have the two boundary conditions like this. X is equal to 0, that is extreme left face of that plane wall, and x is equal to capital L, that is extreme right face of the that particular wall. So this x is equal to 0 and x is equal to L. These are nothing but the boundary conditions, that is the extreme faces of that particular plane wall. So at these boundaries, whatever the conditions of that plane wall are there, that conditions you are going to specify there. So that conditions will be utilized to solve these problems. So as we discussed, for steady state heat conduction, for steady state heat conduction, we will require the minimum two boundary conditions to solve those problems. Okay, so under steady state for plane wall, one will be the x is equal to 0 and second will be the x is equal to L. So at this x is equal to 0 and x is equal to L, you are going to specify the conditions of that plane wall. Let's say for that plane wall I am giving the temperature conditions, temperature boundary conditions. So what will be that temperature boundary condition? At x is equal to 0, let's say we have the temperature T is equal to T1. This will be the one boundary condition, that is x is equal to 0, temperature T is equal to T1. And second boundary condition on extreme right face is at x is equal to capital L, temperature T is equal to T2, capital T2. So these are the two boundary conditions, specified temperature boundary conditions. Similar to this, you can have the different boundary conditions also. So boundary conditions means what? The conditions of that particular object or geometry at the extreme faces. For plane wall, extreme faces will be, one will be the left face and one will be the right face for one dimensional heat flow. For solid cylinder, if you consider, what will be the boundary conditions? One will be the r is equal to 0, radius r is equal to 0, and second one will be the radius r is equal to capital R, that is radius of that cylinder. This is the boundary condition. So in this case also you can specify the boundary conditions, that is r is equal to 0, temperature let's say T is equal to T1, and at r is equal to capital R, temperature T is equal to T2. So these are the boundary condition for that solid cylinder. Similarly you can go for the solid sphere. So in that case you have the boundary condition for solid sphere at r is equal to 0, temperature T is equal to T1, at r is equal to capital R for solid sphere, temperature T is equal to T2. So these two will be the boundary conditions. Similarly, you can have the different boundary conditions for hollow cylinder and hollow sphere. So for hollow cylinder and hollow sphere, there will be two radius, R1 and R2. So at R1, let's say R is equal to R1, temperature T is equal to T1. This will be the first boundary condition. Second will be at R is equal to R2, temperature T is equal to T2. Similar, these boundary conditions will be there for hollow sphere also. Do you got these boundary conditions? So boundary conditions are minimum two boundary conditions are required for to solve the steady state heat conduction problems. So there must be two boundary conditions to solve these problems. Okay. So those boundary conditions will go in detail. So is this PDF visible to all of you? Is this PDF visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, see here, we are having the types of as we discussed, boundary conditions are the conditions of that particular object at the extreme faces. For plane wall, extreme faces will be one for in x direction, one will be the x is equal to 0, that is extreme left, and x is equal to capital L, that is extreme right face. These are the two boundary conditions. So you can have such type of boundary conditions like temperature boundary conditions, means at that boundaries x is equal to 0 and x is equal to capital L, you can specify the temperatures. Okay, at that point, what is the temperature that you can specify? That will be the boundary conditions for that particular plane wall. Similarly, you can have the convection boundary conditions. You can say that at left side, at extreme left, that is x is equal to 0, there is a convection heat transfer. And at extreme right also you can say the convection heat transfer is there. So there you can say convection boundary condition. So there will be the convection heat transfer. Clear? So that is the convection boundary condition. Then you can have the heat flux boundary conditions. And one more boundary condition is there. Some initial conditions are also there. So as we discussed, for steady state heat conduction, you should know the two boundary conditions to solve those problems. And in unsteady state, that is transient heat conduction, we are very much know that the time required is we are going to consider in that unsteady state or transient heat conduction problems. So at the start of that heat transfer process, that is initial condition, let's say we are having the quenching operation. So what you will do, you will heat that object initially to very high temperature. Let's say that at time t is equal to 0, we have the temperature T is equal to capital T suffix I, Ti. So that is the initial condition of that object. So during quenching, and quenching is the time related phenomena what you have. So by the time, at the start of that quenching you have very high temperature, but when quenching starts, the temperature of that object will get decreased. So it is time related. So temperature of that object is not going to remain constant. So it will continuously change throughout that quenching operation. So that operation is under the transient heat conduction, that is unsteady state heat conduction problem. Okay. So to solve the unsteady state heat conduction problems, you required to give initial conditions of that object also. So that is at time t is equal to 0. So whatever the conditions at time t is equal to 0 you will specify, those are known as initial conditions. So we have the boundary conditions, that is for the faces of that object, and initial conditions at time t is equal to 0. Do you got this? Hello? Do you got these boundary conditions and initial conditions? Boundary conditions are applied at the boundary of that object, and initial conditions will be applied at the start of that operation, at the start of that heat transfer process, that is time t is equal to 0. Do you got this? Hello, do you got this? Okay, now we'll go for these different types of boundary conditions here. Do you observe this? Here we are having this particular diagram for the initial this specified temperature boundary conditions here. So here you can observe we are having the one plane wall whose dimensions are given, that is at x is equal to 0, and we are having the total width of that plane wall as capital L. So left side will be at x is equal to 0 and right side will be at x is equal to capital L. Do you got this? So we are having this as a temperature boundary conditions. So at the boundaries you will specify the temperatures of that particular object. So here you can observe we are having the at x is equal to 0 temperature T is equal to T1. This is the first boundary condition. Second boundary condition, at x is equal to capital L on the right face of this plane wall, temperature T is equal to T2, where T1 is greater than T2, so that heat will flow from the left face to right face. Is it correct? Is it correct? So how you will write these boundary conditions? You can write that boundary conditions somewhere like this. At x is equal to 0, we have the temperature T is equal to T1. This is the first boundary condition. And at x is equal to capital L, that is extreme right face, temperature T is equal to T2. So this is the second boundary condition. And time T is not applicable to steady state condition. Is it correct? So this, for steady state, time parameter you will not consider, but for unsteady state you will go with the that particular time related parameters. Clear? Do you got this specified temperature boundary condition? Hello? Do you got this specified temperature boundary condition for plane wall? Hello? You can reply in chat box. Do you got the specified temperature boundary conditions for plane wall? Okay. Similar boundary conditions you can have for the solid cylinder. So for solid cylinder, temperature boundary condition will be somewhere like this. At R is equal to 0, that is center of that uh, cylinder, you have the temperature, let's say T is equal to T1. This will be first boundary condition. Second, at R is equal to capital R, that is radius of that cylinder, or on the outer surface of that cylinder, temperature T is equal to T2. So this can be the boundary condition for that solid cylinder. For hollow cylinder it will be at R is equal to R1, temperature T is equal to T1, and at R is equal to R2, that is outer surface, you have the temperature T is equal to T2. So this will be the boundary condition for solid cylinder and hollow sphere respectively. You can have the same situation for solid sphere and solid cylinder, solid sphere and hollow sphere also. So can you tell me the boundary conditions, temperature boundary condition for solid sphere? Can anybody tell? You can unmute the mic and tell. Boundary temperature boundary condition for solid sphere. Hello, or you can type in chat box also. Hello, hello. Can you tell me the boundary condition for solid sphere, temperature boundary condition for solid sphere? For solid sphere, it will be again at radius r is equal to 0, temperature T is equal to T1, and radius r is equal to capital R, that is outer surface of the sphere, temperature T is equal to T2. Do you got this boundary condition of plane wall, temperature boundary condition of plane wall? Reply. Can we go for the next boundary condition? Can we go for next boundary condition? So we have the next boundary condition, that is convection boundary condition. So what convection boundary conditions? So when the phase temperatures are not known or specified, convection boundary conditions are to be considered. If you don't know the space temperatures, okay, or not given you, so you can go with the boundary conditions. So you will go for that boundary conditions. So before that, we'll go for this particular diagram. See here, same diagram is there. At x is equal to 0, we have the temperature T1. At x is equal to capital L, we have the temperature T2. Okay, and they have given you the uh, left surface will be exposed to some fluid, as well as right surface of this plane wall will be exposed to some different fluid. So they have given you the temperature of that fluid exposed on the left side as a T infinity 1, and temperature on the right face of exposed to temperature of fluid exposed on the right side is T infinity 2. Do you got this? Where T infinity 1 is greater than T infinity 2. So again heat will flow because of this. T infinity is greater than T infinity 2. Heat will flow from the left surface to right surface. Do you got this geometry? Hello. Do you got this geometry? So on the left side, left surface temperature is T1, and that surface is exposed to fluid whose temperature is T infinity 1, and right side face temperature is T2, and that face is exposed to fluid whose temperature is T infinity 2. Okay, so we have these boundary conditions you can observe here. At the same time, they have given you H1 and H2. Can you tell me what is H1 and H2 here? As far as the convection is concerned, what is H? Small h. Hello. It is heat transfer coefficient. So on left side we have the different fluid, and right side we have the different fluid. So that heat transfer coefficient for convection will be different on left face of that wall, and on the right side also that H will be different. So on left side we have the heat transfer coefficient as a H1, and on the right side we have the heat transfer coefficient as a H2. Clear? Now how heat is flowing here? Initially from the left side fluid, that heat will be convected on the left face of that plane wall. through the plane wall heat will be conducted and up to the right face, and from right face that heat will be convected to the surrounding whose temperature is T infinity 2. So initially on the left face convection from fluid to surface, then through the material through that plane wall because of conduction heat will be transferred from right face, again it will be convected to the surrounding. Do you got this? How the heat is flowing here? On the left face initially heat is convected from the fluid in the surrounding to the left face of this plane wall, then through this plane wall heat will be conducted, and from the right face heat will be convected back to the surrounding. So this is how the heat is flowing from the left side to right side of this plane wall. Do you got this? Hello? Okay. Now we'll go for the now we'll go for these boundary conditions, applying the boundary conditions here. Okay. So first, as this given you, this is the convection boundary conditions. So there will be convection heat transfer at the boundaries. Clear? So at x is equal to 0, you can see here heat convected into wall is equal to heat conducted into wall. So from fluid left side, whatever the fluid surrounding to left side is there, through which heat is conducted on the left face, and from left face it is conducted throughout the plane wall. So we have the equation like this: convection initially is equal to that same heat will be conducted further. So we can have the equation heat convected into the wall is equal to heat convected from that particular wall, or heat going into the wall because of conduction. So we'll write down the equation. Heat convected equation will be H1A. A is the area normal to that heat flow, is equal to T infinity 1 minus T1 at x is equal to 0. This is the boundary condition on the left face. Is equal to, this is the conduction equation, that is minus Ka dt by dx. dt by dx at x is equal to 0. What is K here? K is the thermal conductivity of material used in plane wall. Area in both cases will be same. Here dt by dx at x is equal to 0 you have to take. So left side of this equation at x is equal to 0 is convection part, and that same convection heat is conducted through the wall. So right side will be minus Ka dt by dx at x is equal to 0. Do you got this boundary condition? Do you got this boundary condition? Hello? Do you got this boundary condition? At x is equal to 0, we have convection heat transfer first. That equation for convection heat transfer is H1, because left surface, into area capital A. In bracket, we have the Newton's law of cooling. Q is equal to HA delta T. So that we have been applied for convection. So on the left face, convection is H1 into A into bracket T infinity 1 minus T1. Is it visible to all of you? Hello? Is it visible, that equation? Hello? Is that equation visible to all of you? So is equal to, we are going to write it for minus Ka dt by dx, that is heat conducted. So this is for at, and here dt by dx you will take at x is equal to 0, because we are applying on the left face boundary condition. Similarly, at right face x is equal to capital L, we have the heat conducted up to the face, whatever heat at on the right side is there, that same heat because of conduction will be convected to the surrounding. So heat conducted from this face is equal to heat convected to the surrounding. So heat conducted up to that face is equal to heat convected out from that face. So heat at the right side because of conduction is what? Minus Ka dt by dx, but this dt by dx in this case will be at x is equal to L, and is equal to, we have the convection heat transfer on the right side as H2 into A in bracket T2 minus T infinity 2. So T2 is higher than T infinity 2 here. So heat will be convected from the right face to the surrounding here. And on the left side, heat is convected from the fluid on the left side to the plane wall. But on the right side, heat is convected from the plane wall to the surrounding. But on the left face, heat is convected from the surrounding to the plane wall. Do you got this? Do you got this? So we have this equation on the left right side as minus Ka dt by dx at x is equal to L is equal to H2 into A in bracket T2 minus T infinity at x is equal to L. So these boundary conditions we are having, these boundary conditions are known as convection boundary condition. Clear? Hello? So next to this, you can have the heat flux boundary conditions. Means what? What is heat flux? Can anybody tell me? What is heat flux? You can unmute the mic and tell. What is heat flux? What is heat flux? Capital Q, that is heat transfer rate per unit area is nothing but the heat flux. So you can have the boundary condition of heat flux also. Means what? You can give the heat flux at x is equal to 0, heat flux will be small q suffix 0, and at x is equal to L, heat flux will be small q suffix capital L. So you can specify this heat flux also. So when you specify the heat flux, that will become the heat flux boundary condition. Clear? Clear? So you can have the heat flux like this. Heat flux at left face, that is x is equal to 0. Heat flux entering in the wall is Q0, that is small q suffix 0 is equal to minus K dt by dx at x is equal to 0. Here A we have been taken on the left side. So here not the capital Q. For heat flux we are going to denote it by small q. And because of at x is equal to 0, this will be the Q0 is equal to minus K. Area is not there because area we have been taken here, capital Q divided by A. This will become small q here. So Q0 is equal to minus K dt by dx at x is equal to 0. So this is the left side heat flux boundary condition. Similarly, on the right face, what will be boundary condition? Small q suffix L is equal to minus K dt by dx at x is equal to capital L. Do you got this? Do you got this boundary condition for heat flux? So you can say somewhere they will specify you the boundary condition that the wall is insulated. Wall is insulated. So in that case, when wall is insulated, we have the condition. So whenever you say insulation is there, heat transfer rate is 0. Is it correct? Whenever there is a insulation, so heat transfer rate is 0. Is it correct? Insulation is provided to avoid the heat flow. So when you consider QL is equal to 0, you can observe here heat flux is 0 means what? Heat transfer rate, insulation is means what? Heat transfer rate is 0. So Q is equal to 0. So when you have the small q is equal to 0, you can put here q is equal to 0. So here this particular K cannot be 0. Thermal conductivity of that material cannot be 0. There will be some thermal conductivity, some value for that thermal conductivity of material. So suppose we have been, we are say that this left face is insulated. So when you apply the insulated boundary condition, what happens here? So x is equal to 0. If it is zero, insulated, q will be 0. Small q will be 0 at that face. So you can equate this equation. Q0 is equal to minus Ka minus K dt by dx at x is equal to 0. This value is equal to 0 what you have. So K cannot be 0. K will be some value. So when this equation will be 0, when the dt by dx will be 0. Is it correct? So whenever you have any surface insulated, the temperature gradient at that particular point will be 0. You can say that. So when you have the temperature, that surface is insulated, temperature gradient at that point will be 0. dt by dx will be 0 at that particular point. So this is called as a insulated boundary condition. And lastly, we have the initial boundary condition. So initial boundary conditions means what? At time t is equal to 0, they will specify some conditions related to boundary of that particular object. That is nothing but initial boundary conditions. So time t is equal to 0, and this will be required. These initial boundary conditions will be required in transient or unsteady state heat conduction problems. Do you got all these boundary conditions? Hello? Do you got all these boundary conditions? Just a minute. Okay. Uh, Now today we will end with this particular session for the boundary conditions.